Good morning, anyone that's on this. All right. Just getting set up here. Give me just a moment. All right. How are all of you this morning? Well, market looking pretty good. I'm liking the looks of things for sure. I'm feeling kind of bullish, and I want to start by covering some things on the SPY that I'm seeing. And let me know if you agree with me, but you may not agree with me. That's just totally fine. But I am feeling bullish about the overall market. Now, definitely there needs to be some care. You need to have a defensive position because right now the market is fighting for direction. So I'm going to take a look here on the daily on the SPY. And so I study and look at the Elliott wave theory. I like the Elliott wave theory because mathematically it puts into effect human nature as far as panic selling and panic buying in the stock market. It tends to be very accurate as far as I'm concerned. I've had some success by following it. It helps to give me an idea of market direction. And let's talk about, we got to February 16th, as you can see right here. So the Elliott wave theory stresses that you'll have 5 waves, either in a bullish or a bearish direction, and then you'll have a 3-wave correction. Well, we definitely finished up wave 5 here and hit the highest point on February 16th. And so it was a real danger time, definitely, for the market. Okay, so then we had a 3-wave correction from that, and we saw that with bond yields was the catalyst, I think, for that, the fear of rising interest rates. So then we saw that 3-wave correction. You can see it right here. Here's wave 1. And that took until February 26th to fully form. And then we had wave B. So it's on a correction, it's A, B, and C. On any of the 5-wave, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have wave A, wave B, kind of correcting back upwards. It had fallen too far. And typically wave C is the largest one. And there's a rule here that wave B can't go higher than where the previous high was. So that's not, obviously a correction. So then we saw that here, it didn't go there, and then wave C is always the largest and longest, and it went all the way down until March 4th, and we all went through that pain. So the advantage of looking at Elliott wave is it kind of gives you an idea of market direction so that you can help avoid some of that pain. And this is, you always interpret it. It's always an interpretation, and it's a theory. It doesn't 100% play out, but most of the time it does. So we hit this bottom here on 3-4, and then we had what I believe to be wave 1 of a new bullish wave that happened, and we got a new high. That was a big deal, and we come all the way here to wave 1. Now wave 2 is a pullback from that. So every reaction in the stock market is an overreaction. And so we've seen that definitely towards the end. And this wave could continue down. But I think that the market feels very good this morning. Bond yields are good and in check and actually lower, which is really exciting. And so my expectation here is that we saw the bottom here on quadruple witching day that was here, and then now we're going to see a move upwards. Now I think the top of this band could go as high as 404 on the SPY, so the SPY can increase by that much. The Nasdaq's doing very well this morning, having a nice return to normals on the triple Qs. And also the Nasdaq as a whole is looking very good. Okay, so let's go to the 1-minute chart. Okay, so the Elliott wave is bullish. So that is why I say that. Hello, Silva. How's it going? All right. And during this, I want you to feel free to ask questions. Go in the comments. Please comment. If you could drop a like, that is very, very appreciated. That helps to suggest this to other viewers. But, okay, so I have 5 different things I'm looking for market direction. Number 1 is news. I would call news just kind of break even. I think that we've fallen too far based on fears, and so I think that the fear indicator, like the VIX, is probably going to have a rough day today. It'll probably do poorly. So I would call the news sort of bullish. So that's number 1. So I have 5 things I'm looking for. Number 2, Elliott wave. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, right now in the short term, the Elliott wave is bullish. And so I am expecting a good day today. And the reason being is because the fear has been the 10-year and the 30-year yield. And the yields on that, rising interest rates, worries about the economy. The Fed chair came out on Wednesday and gave a great report, and the market rebounded really quickly and then quickly faded on higher yields. So the yields today are very bullish. So they've gone down. So that is good news for the stock market. I am expecting a move upwards based upon that. So 3 and 4 are both bullish in my opinion. And that's the bond yields. I pay really close attention to those bond yields. It's amazing how when bond yields are up for the day, that it's rough for the market. And when bond yields are down or even or close to even, then it is actually a good sign for the market. And so my 4th indicator is a price and volume indicator that I have, and right now is actually hasn't come out yet, so that's good. But as soon as we have that out, I'll let you know. So I like to wait for the first 10 minutes of opening, and we are getting close to 8:28, and we got just a couple minutes before open, and I am here to answer any questions. I would probably take a trade on the SPY this morning, looking for an early pullback, and then I will look to get bullish on it because we have 4 out of 5, in my opinion, that are bullish, and so that should lead to a good market day today, and I think the NASDAQ specifically will do very well. So looking for an entry point as far as that goes. I'm sure there'll be some nervousness, a lot of international sellers out there right at market open, because they can't buy or sell typically until with their broker until market open, and so that's a big reason why we get so much volume right at open. I'll wait the first 10 minutes, wait for a great entry point, and the thing I'm looking for is a positive cross of the MACD. So this MACD down here is an indicator I pay very close attention to. It is the 12, 26, and 9. If you are looking to add it, it may have that designation if you're wanting to have the exact same indicator that I do. So this is bearish right here when you see this. And when it crosses back above, when the yellow crosses back above, that's a bullish entry point and a good time to enter based on that. Okay, so we shall see. All right, market open. Here we go. Let's see what we get. CFE. All right. Bullish move. Want to wait the first 10 minutes, let her settle down. Okay, so let's talk about levels on the SPY. 391 is very bullish, and 388 is bearish. So if we were to get down to 388, that would be a very bad sign. That would be knocking out a lot of lower support on that. So based upon the levels from Friday, if we're looking for a bullish trade, R1, resistance 1 is 391.64, resistance 2 is 393.81, resistance 3 is 396.05. As far as insiders that I am looking for an exit point on today, Mustang Bio is definitely on my list, and Bio is one that I'm going to be finding an exit point for at some point today, looking for an exit point on that. I've already sold my stock on that. That's the only one that I've sold in pre-market. Another one I'm going to be looking for an exit point today because of how many days it's been since insider activity is Tupperware, TUP. So that's one I'm going to be looking at for an exit on today. Another is IMUX, looking for an exit on that one also on the insider list. It has been 5 days since insider activity. That one did not pan out and not do well, but you know, it's a 70% win rate with a 3% win per average per pick. That one was not a winner unless we get a big surge here, which would, of course, be wonderful for us to get. And then ANF, it has been 3 days since insider activity, so looking for an exit off of that. So, well, starting the market, starting the day off, personally, I'm starting green, so that's kind of nice to start with some green. AMR really taking a nice jump upwards. That's really good. Everything is all over this place this morning. PDUFA run-ups, ANVS down just a tiny tad bit. Blue is continuing upwards towards FDA approval. That's later this week, so looking for a good week from Blue. ATXI continues its run, doing pretty well. SLGL continues to disappoint. That one is not done well so far, but I am expecting as we get closer to the date that one do very well. PLX is up this morning, and so is Eton, so looking good on those. Okay, this is typical. Right at market open, the SPY likes to go the opposite direction that it's probably going to go for the rest of the day. So that's why entering in the first 10 minutes is never a really great idea. I mean, you can see here, yeah, you could have got excited on this big green bar, but that would have been too soon. And we will wait for a full green down here to form and for the yellow line to pass this blue line or purple, however you decide that it is. And before we take a position on it, just to protect ourselves. Okay. IMUX has a target of $60. Yes, it has been so disappointing. That one has been, I thought for sure after the insider activity that we would be looking at green on that guy, and it just really disappointed. Although it's doing another nice move today, so I guess we'll see what happens with it. But yeah. So we shall see. Now, a lot of you will notice that my top 7 video did not post. It is still, I had a top 7 video for this weekend that I made. It's still in, we're still editing. It will come out soon. So I expect sometime today that video will be out. So I don't know if anyone was looking for that or watching for that, but that didn't happen. So, okay. So we are into the day now, 6 minutes in. The SPY is looking good. Let me take a look at, see if there's anything new for insiders. Okay, so this is starting to close up. That looks pretty good. It hasn't fully formed yet. 7 minutes in. Okay, so it's a little risky to enter this early, but I'm going to look for an entry point on the SPY. I'm looking at options. I like options. Okay, let's take a look here. Look at an April 1st expiration date. A lot of really great options there. Okay. So it didn't fully form, so I'm watching it, waiting for this to fully form here. So it was a little risky to enter in, and so I was just kind of starting to take a look. I'm looking at an April Fool's Day entrance for an option contract here. I'm going to try to trade the SPY at the open. Let's see here. Let's see what we get. I like the $391 calls on April 1st. Okay, so this candle hasn't fully formed yet. So we will wait for it to fully form. Bam, now we enter. 368 is what I got it for. 368 is my average. I was able to get in on that, so that's really good. Feeling good about that. 368. And so now we'll see how it goes. Should do really well. I've not gotten my price volume indicator yet, but this is a substitute for it. Bam, there goes my indicator. It is bullish. Looking for a nice move on the SPY this morning. This should be really, really good. Okay. So to recap, I went the $391 calls expiring on April 1st. And so lots of price strength here. Really good price strength. So I will watch this to lower and then I will exit at a good X point. All right. Now the boring part. Now you wait for price action. I don't know if it's boring or not. Could be exciting. I don't know. I almost feel like you should be an auctioneer. It would be kind of fine. So last price paid on that option is $372. Again, to reiterate, it's the $391 calls expiring on 4/1. I got in for an average of $3.68. So we are right at 10 minutes in. We got our price and volume indicator that just triggered for me. And so that was bullish also. So we have all 5 bullish. So looking at levels of resistance, $391 is a big deal. That is a big level. Another level that's important is R1 at 391.64. Resistance 2 is 393.81. Boy, I'd sure love to see that today. 393.81 would be great. That'd be a really nice recovery for everything. That would be good. So I got in those calls at $3.68 was my average. It hopped all the way around at the time when I did it. So right now I'm even on it because it's currently at 368. So it's exactly where I was when I entered. So nice price strength here. This should be good for a nice little run. Now the time periods I always watch for where the market turns bullish is after the market's been open for an hour. So that's something to look for. We are a long ways from that. That's 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern, so on and so forth. I don't know how people trade in on the West Coast because I don't know. I guess you just get up early to trade. So okay, looking nice. Liking this little price action here. So far it's at 381. So moving rather nicely on this particular one. All right. Now we're starting to get moving here. Starting to look pretty good. So last price paid on that was 376. So nice little movement there. Up just a tiny tad bit on this guy. Very choppy this morning. So on business, I went to LA last year, and oh gosh, I was getting up so early. It was crazy. It's so funny. But I do a lot of my research in Central Time. I get up. I start researching around 5:30 in the morning, working and looking at stocks that I'm going to look at, and so yeah. On the West Coast, that was way too early. Good morning, Tit World. And if any of you have any questions, and also if you could please hit that like button, very much appreciated. To review for people that are just joining, we are in a call option on the SPY based upon a lot of different indicators. I have 5 different indicators I look for. News, I considered the news to be bullish this morning. There's no bearish news. So if everything's kind of break even, then I call it bullish. The Elliott wave is bullish in my opinion. We are in my opinion, on the daily chart, on the SPY, we are in wave 2, and I think we're about to close out wave 2 on a bullish run and go to wave 3 on the SPY. Number 3 is the 10-year yields. Those are down this morning. Good to see interest rates falling a little bit this morning. The next is the 30-year, and those are down also. And then my price and volume indicator has triggered as bullish. And so that takes a look at a lot of different factors. It looks a lot at level 2 and level 3 data to look for imbalances on the buy side versus the sell side, and then gives recommendations based upon that. It's extremely expensive, and so, you know, it's an indicator that I pay for, and it's good to have tools. I mean, you need tools in your tool belt. That is something I do because I like to trade the SPY, and so I like to utilize that. I like the SPY specifically because it has really high options volume. So I'll look for an entry, and I have certain things that I'm looking for. And right now we are at a perfect. We passed the entry point. The entry point actually came over right around here, right around the 390 range, and then this is actually where VWAP is. That's where that indicator came in, and so this trade is working nicely. It's moving upwards. So far, the last price paid was $3.82. My entry was at $3.68, so making some money on this. Hopefully all of you are too. Tanner, my recording session, it went very, very well. Thank you for asking. On Friday and Saturday, I was busy, and it's nice to be used as a studio musician, and looking forward to the end point on that. I'm a piano player. A lot of people you may not know that, and that is my other passion. My first passion is stocks, definitely. I would say that music is my second, and anyway, it went really well. Played a lot of tracks on organ, and it was pretty cool. So did a lot of those rock runs and so on and so forth. So it was really fun. Looking forward to hearing the final project. So they had a beautiful, at the recording studio, a beautiful grand piano. I just sat down and played that thing. It was amazing. It was probably a $60,000 piano. It was really, really nice. Yamaha C7. Very good. Okay, so this trade continues to rock and roll. We are just waiting for exit point. We'll receive exit point when these two get close. Right now they're not even close, so that is good. SPY looking good this morning. 389. Now this trade is starting to look pretty good. Really liking this. 392 on the ask now. So this is really starting to move. So all of us should be up about 10% if you got in at this, and I think it's going to go much higher. Bam, 390. Okay, so the first resistance level that I'm looking for is 391.64. We are now in the money on our trade, or at the money anyway, as far as options go. Looking really good. 391.65 is a very important, 391.64 is that important level. So all right, so last price paid on our option is at 398, now 402. So this thing is doing great. Here we go. Oh, Tanner, cool. Recording engineer. We had a really great team of people there, and they were extremely professional. It always amazes me when you're in the recording studio and you make a mistake. Maybe you come in too early or come in too late or you hold too long, and they just go bloop and just take care of that. And how they can make it so clean afterwards, just after you've recorded. And so it's kind of neat how that can be done. That's wonderful, Christopher. Gold French horn. I remember in band, all all the French horn people taking their bells and pulling them out, and you see all the spit drip out of the bottom of it. It was like, ugh. Trombone players too. I play a little saxophone also, and so enjoy that definitely. It's I'm a lot better at the piano than I am at the saxophone. Keyboards is kind of my thing, so. But that's great. I used to be a music teacher, and I did that. I had 60 students as a young man, had lots of piano students, and so on and so forth, and taught. And man, that's a grind. That is hard. One-on-one individual lessons may not sound like a hard job, but once you do it, you're just constantly pouring out, and it's just a tough gig. So. Okay, so it looks like 405 is where we're at on this trade. 368 entry point, so doing rather nicely. 391.25. We're looking for 391.64. That is a key level. And so far, so good. Loving this trade. This is going to be a good one. $391.91 is also another level that we'll want to pay attention to on the bullish side. So 391.64 is where we're going to see some resistance here. We're also going to see some resistance at 391.91 and 392.50 is another level where we could see some resistance. So 393.82 is R2, and then beyond that, we're looking at R3 at 396.05. It would be a fantastic thing for the stock market if we hit 396. That would just be epic. So now up to 408 on this $391 call, looking very strong, really moving upwards. And 391.64 is what we're looking for. So 391 was key. 391.64 is the next key level. Tanner, guitar is a very difficult instrument to play for me. I tell you, I can definitely respect guitar players. I had a hard time trying to learn that instrument. Very difficult for me anyway. It made sense for piano. We're all different, you know, what we're good at, and that's just how it is. So okay, so now we've hit a key level. If you look here on the RSI, so that's a little concerning, but I really think we're going to hit 391.64. So that's one level that I'm really holding out for. Sold CMT for a 7% gain. That's wonderful. Good to hear it. Very good trade. You know, some people might be, oh, 7%, that's nothing. But if you can repeat it and you have a strategy where you can repeat it, I trade stock strategies. I don't trade stocks. And what I mean by that is that there's a strategy behind each and everything that I buy, and I have a plan. I have a plan for when I enter. I have a plan for when I sell it, and I follow the plan. And it doesn't always work. And that's the thing. If you are looking for a stock strategy that's 100%, you're going to be looking for a long time. So, you know, the insider swing play I love, but it does not work 100% of the time. Take, for example, IMUX. That's one that really isn't working out that great. I mean, that has not been a great trade. But, you know, others have done very well. So 421 is where this option is sitting right now. Last price paid. So that looks very, very good. Yes, chronic insomnia is a good thing if you're looking to trade stocks on the West Coast. Definitely. Okay, continually moving upwards. This is looking really great. Love the looks of this trade. It's a little overpowered on the RSI, but we have not hit a key level yet. So this is something you typically see a 1 minute pullback, which we got that. But the pullback should last a little bit. I would think that we're going to come down here, maybe down to 391.14 or lower 391s, and then go upwards. Now I could be wrong, and this could just blast through where it's at right now. But it's a little overheated. When people see this, when they see it overdone, there are a lot of traders, when they see that on the RSI, they're out. That's their exit point. So me, not so much. I like to wait. There's more to go. So this could drop down here in the RSI and then easily pop back up and miss out on a lot of profits up there. So I like to watch this. This is how I trade. And you can see as it's pulling through here, 391.47, it just passed that as a new high. That is key level. So now we have a new high. So this is starting to break upwards towards 391.64. And watch this chart. You will notice that this is going to have resistance at 391.64. And so that number, that 391.64, that is not pulled out of thin air. I don't just say, oh, I think it's going to hit 391.64. No, I have a reason for it. So I have a pivot points calculator that I use, and it provides with the different pivot points, and also my training with SMB Capital that I've had. I learned how to form R1, R2, and R3, and there's a specific formula for that. It's easy to find on the market. All right, this thing is just going up. So last price paid was $4.21 on this option contract. Resistance at 391.64. We're starting to narrow here. So we're starting to get a narrowing. This is interesting to see what's going to happen here. Little pullback. This is not uncommon. This is kind of what I expected. I expected it to pull back down around 391.14 and then pop upwards. Now the RSI is looking a little better. It's cooled down a little bit, and so that should be quite a bit better. But this is really narrowing here. Price action there. So that's something to watch. Elliott Wave, insider activity on SELB. I did see that insider activity on SELB. So the reason I don't really like that stock, for me, it doesn't make sense, is because SELB is low volume, very difficult to get in. And so I did ignore that one based upon SELB's volume. I did not, or at least it used to be low volume. I looked at it and also didn't think the trade was that significant. But let's take a look here. Yeah, 279,000 volume. I mean, I know the average volume is 1.38 million. Yeah, let's take a look at the monthly. Yeah, and also it's on wave 5 of the Elliott wave as I look at it really quickly. So that is something to watch for. Typically you get a pullback at that particular point. All right, 391.56. See how it topped out at 391.64? 391.63 is where it topped. So now we're going to get a pullback from that level. I think it can power through this. The next level of importance is 391.91 is the next level of importance. So that is interesting to see what happens here. But you know, these R1 levels, I mean, it's amazing how when they hit it, when they hit resistance, it is common to see a pullback. Now, a lot of traders might say, oh, I'm good at that. But I like to watch for this because sometimes, and we're really close here, but I might look for an exit point here soon to see what we get. It's so close. We'll want to wait for this candle to form before we make a decision on whether it's a good exit point. Okay, so we did form a red candle down here. Okay, I just exited at 403. All right, so we saw this down here. We're going to see a pullback here, and so I wanted to get out on that. I exited at 403 was the price that we got for that. So let's take a look. Okay, so a 9.5% gain. I've definitely done worse. Hopefully that was a good move for all of you. All of you who have participated in that trade should have made a nice profit. But we're going to see a pullback here from resistance 1 levels, and so I wanted to take my profits right at that area. All right, well, let's take a look here and see what else we got going. I just had a trade notification. I had a trade set up on ANF, and it just executed. So let me take a look and see what happened there. Okay, ANF sold at 35.82 average. Divided by, that was one I was looking for an exit point on today. So 3.16% loss. Well, that's a bummer. I'm going to put out the notification on that. That was one I've been I was looking for an exit point on today, and I had an automatic sell on it because I knew I would be in this call, and it would be difficult to, or in this, and it would be difficult to exit, and so that's why I decided to do that. And that was Abercrombie and Finch. Just time to exit that one. 3.16. So just put out the notification on our Discord. If you are watching on YouTube for free, it had been too many days since its activity. It was time to move on that particular one. All right, well, I'd love to look up some stocks for you guys. Anyone have anything they want me to look up? We've kind of had our trade this morning already. Actually did that trade on ANF earlier today, and I just saw it. It just popped up on my phone late, so that's never fun. Okay. All right. Well, bond yield's looking good, so that's good. All right. All right, so let's see. First off, we got wanting to take a look at HOFV. Let's do it. Let's take a look at HOFV. This one had insider activity recently. Holy cow. Well, this is obviously one I shouldn't have sold. It's easy to do that. It's easy to look back. But the insider swing strategy suggested that that was the exit point that I chose for it. Yeah. Okay. So I like to look at the daily as far as a swing play for entry and exit points. Hopefully you are in this. I really hope that you're in it, Lucas. This is really looking great. And on the daily, it looked like the perfect day to enter on this, that it was really showing strength, would have been the 15th. And man, has it performed well. So I wouldn't exit until, although, look at this. Look at the daily RSI. So this is great that this is doing that well. But the daily RSI is something you need to be really concerned with, because it is way done over here. So I don't know if there's any news. Let's check and see if there's any news. Let's see here. I don't know why HOFV is showing up on the SPAC news. Interesting. All right, well, there's nothing really that I like as far as, or that I can easily see as far as news goes. So yeah, just watch this daily RSI. It is way too high at the moment. There's going to be some people taking some profits here soon. And so you might look at that. If you're feeling daring and you want to hold, you can definitely hold through this, but this would be an indicator to watch for an exit point. All right. If you're looking for an exit point here, you know, it says that this is actually the exit point on a daily day trade. Man, this shot up right at open. Look at that. Wow. Really great news. So there's probably some news driving it. I just don't see where it's at. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. NAKD. Let's take a look. Oof. Okay. Well, in a minute it's showing an entry here. Let's take a look at the daily. Yeah, this stock is not in good shape. This is trending downwards. The daily exit point would have been here. It's trending the wrong way, and the trend is your friend. So not liking this one too much. I know Naked Brands, it's all in, I guess, your view of it. But when on the daily, when I see it cross over negative here, that's always a good indication for me that it's time to move on that one. Okay, on to the next, SCOR. Score did not react on news. Well, there's definitely volume coming in here. Interesting. All right, let's take it to 1 minute. So yeah, it's up 1.89%. Good news, definitely on it. There was insider activity on it also. I'm gonna hold, and my plan is just to kind of let it ride. Let it ride. KNSA. Yeah, you did. You missed a sale alert on that one. I put that out with FDA, and they did get FDA approval, but I put out the sell alert on that quite a while, last week actually, on it. And I think we got out of it with a 6% gain is what we got out of it on. Now, obviously, it's not doing well. Let's take a look at the daily. Yeah, this is not a good sign here. But they did get FDA approval. After FDA approval, so that you know, if you end up holding through FDA approval, it is always a sell-off afterwards. I mean, typically an offering could be coming. There's lots of different reasons why it would sell off. But KNSA is one I don't think is going to get better. But yes, I did put out the notification to sell that one last week. And I exited for a 6% gain personally. Yeah, unfortunately, that's what happened there. ATXI. Let's take a look. Good old Avenue Therapeutics. So this is a PDUFA run-up play. It's really doing great. Look at how strong this is. And of course, this was my entry point. This is when I started to call it out to our to everyone on YouTube. It was right at the beginning of this, or excuse me, in the Discord. So if you're on YouTube and you're looking for, if you're on YouTube and you're just watching this for free, for $27 a month, it's not very much. You can be a member of our Discord, and great picks like ATXI. But this has been a real positive mover for us. I think so far we are, it's looking very strong. I'm expecting it to continue to look strong. Up 8.57% in it personally. I got in at $3.95, or excuse me, I got in at $5.95. But it is moving really nicely. It has a PDUFA date of April 12th, and I do consider it, I do think it's going to continue to run. But, you know, being a member of the Discord is the difference between entering right here versus just hearing about it now and, you know, or as part of that PDUFA video that I did on this particular one. And just hearing about it late, so you get in for a better average. And so that's the advantage of that group. And for the small amount that it costs, I think it's well worth it. Of course, I would say that, you know, but it's what I think on that one. Okay, ATXI. Yeah, ATXI is looking really strong. I'm expecting this run to continue. April 12th is our date. Should be really good. EEENF. I'm completely unfamiliar with that stock ticker. EENF. 88 Energy. In my opinion, it's a hold. I know nothing about it. It's an OTC. I love this volume. Look at this volume increase. Volume precedes price. And this one's a hold. This one's a good hold. It's a cheap one. Man, 0.0239. A little tiny one. But yeah, Freight Max, I would hold this thing. Looking really good. It's not even overheated on the RSI here, on the daily RSI. This is a really nice run that it's been on, and I think the price will continue to move upwards on that one. Looking really, really good based upon volume and price. All right, Blue. Blue has a PDUFA date coming up this weekend. This was a call out in my first PDUFA video, and it's down just a tad bit today, but I think this is looking pretty strong. Liking the movement on this one, and so I'm expecting great things on it. So should be good. Okay, so what will blue reach on their date, by their date? I like to sell, it's called a PDUFA run-up play, so I like to sell before decision. So I'm watching this very, very closely to see if it dips below on the daily, and if it does, then I'm going to exit. So I'm just watching this one this week and kind of seeing what's going to go on. But I think that blue, if they get approval, could hit 45, 40, 45, somewhere in there. I think it could really, really move upwards. Very significant drug, and so I think that would be a good thing for them. So that's what I'm thinking on that one. IMUX just went below. Ooh, well, let's look at good old IMUX. Yeah. IMUX. Yeah, I don't like that it's dipping like it is. Okay, so I just sold IMUX. I am tired of I'm tired of this one. This one did not work out. It was a poor pick, I guess. I mean, the insider activity was very bullish, but it's at its entry point today, and it's just time to move out on that. So I'm going to send out a notification on that one. All right. IMUX. My entry was 1722 and my average exit was 1532. So not the best. So 10.1, 11.1% loss. Okay. All right, so there's that one. IMUX, I'm done with. Moving on with my life. Okay, so I'm wanting to take a look at Tupperware. So we're going to look at one for me here. Let's see what Tupperware is looking like. This is another one I've been kind of watching for an exit point on. Sheesh. Okay. Let's take a look at the minute chart on this. Okay, well, not much volume going on here. CLPT. Yeah, let's look. CLPT. Okay, so I don't know a lot about ClearPoint Neuro. I apologize. I did not really look into this one. Wow, looking like it's just about to turn. It looks like it really wants to turn upwards. Previous high of 31.29. That was back on February 17th. I should have been blaring the bell from the rooftop saying, sell, sell. So yeah, CLPT is looking really good here. New price target update, a buy at Lake Street. So that's good. Chart is looking good. The thing to look for an entry for me would be this daily moving to green. And that would be, you know, the beginnings of a golden cross forming. And so I like that to maybe happen on this stock. Sure love to see insider activity or something like that, you know, that would make it a no-brainer. But anyway, so this is one definitely to watch, to kind of keep on the watch list. I don't think a good entry point yet. I think it's not a good entry point yet, so I would wait on that one. AABB, let's look. Wow, absolutely fantastic. Another OTC. Just a tiny penny stock. But on the daily, looking extremely strong, although it is getting overpriced on the RSI. I don't know if buyers on OTCs really care on that. That's more of a different kind of animal on that one. But looking really, really good. Yeah, looking good. Looking really good. This is a nice hold, I would say. Back on the daily, I do like, the only thing I don't like as much is you see all this volume going in and at green here. So is at its highest volume here. Volume is good, but that's a little concerning to see that dropping off a little bit. So this one might be good for an exit point soon, especially since it's so overdone on the RSI. Hopefully you're way up in it, and that might be a good one to find a home. Okay, John, HOFV, I just covered that one. Let me kind of review what I'm seeing here. Of course, looking very, very good, but it is overheated on the daily RSI. So there could be a sell the news type situation that happens on this one soon. Last I looked at it was at 519, and so this one is really, really moving. The volume is through the roof. We had an exit point actually happen here, which was right at 505 as an exit point, and now it's coming down to VWAP, and if it dips below VWAP, this is going to be a get out. Hopefully you're in good shape. Chris, you've been in since $14. Very, very good. Oh, they just announced a new coin versus BTC. It's backed by gold. I see. Okay, shows what I know. Yeah. Very cool. Well, I'm gonna watch that one. I think that's a good one to watch. Okay, well, I am going to sign off here and trade some stocks and do some different stuff. Hopefully all of you had a good trade this morning and enjoyed trading with me this morning. And we'll come back and we'll do it tomorrow. How's that sound? Really liking, hopefully the market continues to move upwards. Let's take a look here. Let's see. Yeah, yields are still looking good. So this should be a really strong day. This should do really well. Anyway, wishing you all the best on the market and in trading. And I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Raythoven out.